She was out in public with another man, not her husband, all hugged up, all out in public. Your friend is foul. I just don't like how close you guys are. I'm not comfortable with it. And I was like, okay, well, if it's between you or her, let me tell you, I'm sticking with her. If you don't trust me, which would be the only reason why you would call into question who my friends are, then we have some serious conversations that need to be had in this marriage. You can't be in a marriage if you don't trust your spouse.
This is an Unsolicited Perspectives YouTube exclusive.
Jay, I saw something interesting on the interweb yesterday, and I thought it brought up an interesting conversation. So there was a man and a woman, they were sitting in a car.
Yes.
And they're a husband and wife. And the husband says, yo, I just saw your homegirl last night at the club. And his wife was like, really? He was like, yeah, she wasn't with her husband. And she was like, oh, really? Yeah, she was out in public with another man, not her husband, all hugged up, all out in public. Your friend is foul. And the wife was like, really? That is crazy. And he was like, yeah,
Like
your friend. And then he said, you know what? You can't hang out with her no more. She was like, that's been my friend for 15 years. Of course I'm going to hang out with her. He was like, no, if that's her character, then you can't hang out with her, because then what does that say about you? And I thought this brought up a very interesting question, because it brings up two things.
Yeah.
Are you the company that you keep? And is a husband allowed to say to his wife, you know what? You can't hang out with this person, or a wife to her husband?
Yeah. Yes to both, honestly. You are the company that you keep. I'm sorry, y'all, but I think that as women, we can't say to guys, hey, your friend's a creep, but you still friends with him. What's that say about you? And not also interrogate that we have creep friends. And what does it say about us to maintain relationships with people we know are foul? Right? Like you are the company you keep. It is what it is, y'all. Sorry. And then as far as your spouse saying, I'm not comfortable with you because of who this person is, their morals or their ethics or anything, I'm not comfortable with you being with this person. I don't want them to influence you. I'm not comfortable with it. Regardless of the reason. If your spouse is like, I'm not comfortable with your relationship with this person, what's more important to you? It'd be different if you're just dating. If you're just dating, I'd be like, look, that's my homegirl. That's my bestie. She been here before you. She gonna be here after you, type of thing, right? But this is your spouse we're talking about. This is supposed to be your partner for life, regardless of everybody else.
That was a weak hand signal. But go ahead.
What was the hand signal?
It was supposed to be like for life, but it's for life. I did the L wrong. Whatever.
The L goes. What L do you know is a gun?
I don't know.
L is this.
Let's move on.
It's for life. It's not that hard for life.
Yeah, okay. Too legit to quit. All right. So I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I disagree.
Okay.
So I don't think that you're solely the company that you keep. Because like she said, that's been her friend for 15 years.
And you knew she was foul for every one of them 15 years.
As a person who has been married, marriage is complicated. Okay, let's just say marriage is complicated. And I don't know what's going on in their marriage. Even if it's your best friend and y'all talk every day, you don't know what's going on behind those closed doors. They could have an open relationship.
Yeah, but you would know that. You would know that your friend was polyamorous. You would know your friend.
Maybe not. My best friend, I tell her so much, but there's still some stuff I keep close to the vest. I don't tell her everything. And I've known her for 15 years. So more than 15 years, actually. So yeah. Okay.
I would agree that I wouldn't just stop being her friend on the strength of the fact of my my spouse saw her out hugged up. Give me an opportunity to talk to her and figure out what's going on.
Okay, and what if you find out that she's just full-fledged having an affair? You gonna
If
throw
my
away 15 years of friendship because of what she's doing with somebody else?
And I think that people would probably be surprised that I'm saying this, but
I am.
this is guys, this is not somebody you dating. This is not just a casual, this ain't a sneaky link. This is your actual spouse and partner.
Mm-hmm.
If your partner is not comfortable and they have a legitimate reason to kind of not be comfortable with this friendship, because it's not even about them not trusting you. It's about, what does it say about you that you keep foul company? I don't know. I feel like if they're not comfortable with it, you might have to think about whether or not you can maintain that relationship.
Okay, to see, and I disagree, because once again, my best friend is a female,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gay, so I date females.
Mm-hmm.
And some women that have dated has a problem with how close we are.
Right.
Now,
But that has nothing to do with her
hold on.
character.
No. But follow me here.
Okay.
There have been absolute times where I've been dating women and it was like, I just don't like how close you guys are. I'm not comfortable with it. And I was like, okay, well, if it's between you or her, let me tell you, I'm sticking with her. You can go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If at the time of my marriage, because we were friends when I was married, they knew each
Yeah.
other. At the time of
Yeah.
my marriage, if my wife had said, I'm not comfortable with your relationship with your best friend, it makes me uncomfortable. I was like, look, you know I'm married to you. That is my
Mm-hmm.
best friend. I don't like the fact that you're trying to dictate to me who I can have in my life. Either you trust me or you don't. If you don't trust me, which would be the only reason why you would call into question who my friends are, then we have some serious conversations that need to be had in this marriage. So that's the reason why I'm like, no, he doesn't have a right to tell her who she can and cannot be friends with. Either he trusts his wife, because the
Mm-hmm.
real reason why he is saying, I don't want you to be friends with her, is because he thinks that somehow cheating is contagious, which maybe cheating is contagious and maybe she would cheat on him. Hey, you can't stop people from doing what they're going to do. And trying to control them doesn't ever work. So I don't
This is
agree.
this
I
is
don't
another
agree.
situation
Huh?
where you've made it applicable to you, and because it's not true for you, then it's not right. But here's the
That's
thing.
not what I said.
There is nobody ever called into question the morals, ethics, all of these things of your best friend. They're uncomfortable with the closeness because they're uncomfortable with the level of intimacy you have with your friend. That doesn't have anything to do with her as a person. He's questioning the fact that of this friend as a person, her actual character. I don't think you should be friends with somebody that has this kind of character, because if they're willing to do this to their spouse, what are they willing to do to you?
I understand what you're saying. My example about me personally was a micro example. I'm talking
Mhm.
macro though when I say I don't feel like people in marriages, husband or wife, should be able to dictate to their spouse who their friends should be, because it calls into question, why are you dictating to your spouse who they can and cannot hang out with? And in this particular scenario with this man, why would
Mhm.
he say, oh, I don't want you hanging out with her? Because she's got a bad character? Because in the same video, she says, well, wait a minute, what about your friends? He said, we ain't talking about my friends. We talking about your friends. He didn't want to bring in the question that maybe he might be dealing with some people that might be unfaithful. So he's speaking specifically to, I don't want you hanging out with this person because they're unfaithful. And I believe the reason is, being a male, me being a male and
Mhm.
knowing how men think, is the reason he thinks that if she's around this woman, she will cheat. And that brings into question trust. And you can't be in a marriage if you don't trust your spouse. So either you trust that your spouse is going to make sound decisions, which guess what? They're human. They're going to make mistakes. You can't control that. Or you don't. And if you don't need to be in that marriage.
So let's give a different example then.
Okay.
Say he saw that friend, his wife's friend, robbing a store.
Right.
She's a criminal. He witnessed her robbing a store at gunpoint and said, I don't think you should be friends with this person. Because of their character.
That's not character. That could be, I don't think you should be friends with this person because they out here committing crimes and you can get wrapped up in it. It is their character. Well, everybody commit crimes for various reasons.
Okay.
You act like
you just don't want to be dictated to, and that's the difference. But here's the thing: when you're in a partnership, you are one. You're one.
Yes, this is true.
You're one, and so you have it's your life together. So you get to have a say in each other's lives because you're spending it together. This is not, again, I'm not talking about somebody. If I'm just dating you, you don't get to tell me that's my bestie. But if I've chosen to spend my life with you, I also have that right to say, hey, I saw your homeboy out there moving weight on the corner. I don't know that you should be around this person anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's right. I saw them cussing their mama out at the Costco. That's not cool. I don't know if this is somebody you should be around. I'm not comfortable with that.
I will contend that it might be a case-by-case scenario and that maybe I don't need to be on my stance of...
I definitely want to make clear, because you have a lot of a key facet of particularly interpartner violence is to isolate your partner, right, from their friends and family. I am not talking about that. I'm not talking about somebody trying to control every part and every aspect of your life by keeping you from your friends, keeping you from your family, keeping you isolated. And that's abusive. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if they have a legitimate concern about the character of somebody in your life. And if we know you want to say you're not the company that you keep, but the fact of the matter is, when people see you out as a unit, right, as a squad, and one person's ill, they're going to look at the rest of y'all the same way. And it's just the way that it is. Okay, so you are the company that you keep. And so I don't want my partner out there with somebody out there living foul. I don't want people to mistake you as being the same as that person. I don't want that person doing you dirty. I don't want that person bringing drama into your life. I don't want you wrapped up in their drama. I don't think cheating is contagious. I think they got a lot going on, and I don't want you wrapped up in that. Mm-hmm. And so I have a right to say, I don't feel comfortable with this.
I agree. Everybody has a right to voice their opinion. I just being dictated to. You ain't gonna tell me who I can and cannot, what I can and cannot do. I mean, that's just.
Yeah, they absolutely can. They're your spouse.
Okay, well, let's put it out to the audience. Hey guys, what do you think? Does a spouse have a right to say who you can and cannot hang out with and what you can and cannot do? And leave a comment down there in the bottom and holla at us.
Join the conversation and follow the Unsolicited Perspectives podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.